What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and beautiful people of the Crasher community? How are you guys doing today? We're back with a new video on the channel. Thank you very much for tuning on in, you absolute legends. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in to what is going to be a goddamn barbecue. Because, folks, today we are going to be writing another chapter when it comes to the absolutely colossal hot mess that is Roblox. And what we have here is Kevin Roose with the following. This week's Hard Fork might be the craziest interview we've ever done. We asked the CEO of Roblox about the child safety issues that have been plaguing the platform. His response was, well, just listen. Now, before we go any further here, I'm going to link you guys in the description down below to the full article that showcases the interview from start to finish. It is naturally a very, very long interview, but the purpose of this video here is to go over, let's say, some of the highlights of this interview, if you know what I mean. And I want you guys to really pay attention to not only what's being said here, but how things are being said, what the speech patterns are, and you guys will begin to understand even further why David Baszucki, the CEO of Roblox, is a hard-boiled piece of shit. Okay, so let's begin here. Devin Roose says, to be clear, Roblox pitched us on interviewing their CEO about child safety. We don't ambush people, but he seemed totally caught off guard by the questions and got angrier the more we asked. And what we have here is an image that showcases a piece of their interview in text form. Now, I want you guys to really look at this here. You notice that we have ourselves two names, Roose, the interviewer, and Baszucki, the interviewee. Notice how just about every single dialogue box that has Roose on it has the hyphens over it. That would be because Baszucki has had quite the amount of times where he's actually talked over and cut off Roose while he was in the middle of his sentence. And that right there, folks, is speech pattern numero uno to watch out for. When you interview and talk to someone who is either guilty or has things to hide, they have a lot higher of a likelihood to get stressed and annoyed and start talking over and even interrupting the interview. And we know that based on the amount of coverage that we've done on Roblox as is, David Baszucki is not a good individual. I mean, do I even need to remind you guys about the Schlepp situation with how much of a shit show that was? I really don't think I need to rehash on any of that stuff. It was a complete and utter mess that was completely and utterly unnecessary. Kevin Roose says, Roblox is the largest kids gaming platform in the world, and it's facing 20 plus lawsuits and multiple state investigations over issues related to child safety. Parents should know how its CEO responds when asked about them. And what we have here is an image that showcases another section of the interview. This time we have ourselves Newton stepping in. Now I'm actually going to read you guys what is being said here verbatim. Newton, yeah, I mean, you mentioned sort of kids leaving the platform, and it does become clear in those lawsuits that Roblox is kind of, you know, where predators go to find kids, but then they do try to, and then Baszucki interjecting. Well, I would say in the lawsuit or press, yes. I would categorically reject the actual description of what you're saying. But yes, what you might read in the news would portray it in that way. But I, Newton, interjecting, you don't think you have a problem with predators on the platform. Baszucki, I think we're doing an incredible job at innovating relative to the number of people on our platform and the hours in really leaning into the future of how this is going to work. Now, the reason I read that out is because I wanted you guys to really soak this part in. Notice how Baszucki gave a really bullshit, flat, non-answer answer to Newton when he said, you don't think you have a problem with predators on the platform. Like, I'm sorry, is this David Baszucki or Unity that we're dealing with here? Because both of y'alls are dodgy as fuck when it comes to shit. So back to Kevin Roose. Podcast hosts, never forget to ask your silly joke questions, like should there be a poly market for kids inside Roblox? You never know when you'll get a sincere, enthusiastic yes. Roose, would you ever put a prediction market inside Roblox Roblox. Like, let kids bet with their Robux and say, I bet he's gonna steal a tung Sahur, Newton. Or, I bet he's not gonna dress to impress, Bazooki. We would. I think we would have to do that. Once again, I'll share some of the complexity. Every single country in the world has different legislation around loot boxes and kid gambling. And so we would have to be, it sounds very fun and obvious. Like, I love that. Roos. Oh, to be clear, I think this is a horrible idea. Newton and Bazooki, laughter. Roos, I was just interested if you were thinking about it. Okay, so I don't need to read any more of that. That right there is another big-time red flag. In fact, not just one big-time red flag, but a whole-ass bundle of red flags. More flags than what you would see in a golf course. Now, Roos completely caught Bazooki in a rat trap. I absolutely love how Bazooki incriminates himself so freaking hard. How he's advocating, like, encouraging for ideas, like, sounds very fun and obvious. When it comes to loot boxes and kid gambling, does this guy not understand kid safety and dangers at all? Like, this shit right here should be the furthest thing to add into kids' games, like Roblox. Loot boxes and kid gambling? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, Roos straight up baited Bazooki with a joke question, and Bazooki fucking fell for that hook, line, and sinker. If that right there doesn't further cook and put a fork in Bastard Bazooki, I don't know what the hell else will at this point. Like, what is even this anymore? Wait a second, hold up. What is this anymore, I ask? Well, what this is it's about to get worse, because I want you guys to pay close attention to what I'm about to say in the following statements. Newton, you have joined us today to talk about this new age-gating policy that Roblox is rolling out to protect kids. And I think we should start by talking about the scope of the problem here. What has led you to this point? And how do you think of the problem of predators on Roblox? Bazooki, we think of it not necessarily just a problem, but an opportunity as well. Motherfucking excuse me? Are you serious with me right now? This is your answer in response to a question revolving around predators and child safety? This is your fucking response? You view this as an opportunity, not just as a problem? What the fuck, man? You could not have phrased this any worse than what you have had. Good job, you fucking idiot. Now, if you guys thought that that right there was bad, it's about to get just a little bit fucking lower here. So Schlepp actually chimes in here in the replies by saying, I can't stress how easy it is for players to jump between platforms. What makes it worse is that Roblox directly links to outside platforms like Discord on their own website. It's wild watching Roblox act like they hold zero responsibility while shifting all the blame elsewhere. And what we have here is an image that reads Bazooki's answer. Bazooki, I don't want to comment on it. We do see the chat logs of those, and we can see interesting and many times ways of people trying to, I'd say, many times people who are fairly sophisticated, and I'm not going to say all of them, many times kids who are over 13 who actually in any other app are not running in a filtered situation, unfortunately, figuring out how to jump to some other platform where they can communicate unfiltered, where they can share images, all of it. It's one of the primary things that we're doing is trying to keep people on our platform. It's an interesting industry situation. I would say we're not waiting for the rest of the industry. And of course, Bazooki's comment here is in reply to Newton saying, yeah, I mean, I don't know. When I read these lawsuits and these investigations into the company, it does not seem like predators are having that hard of a time getting around your filters. Like, you know, you read the allegation and it's, you know, people kind of change a few key words, a few letters here. They're able to get what they need. And this here is the kicker. So I'm curious what's made you so confident that things are working. So for Bazooki to immediately, right off kilter, say, I don't want to comment on it, like, why don't you want to comment on it? Is it because that your answers are full of shit and you're going to be exposed even further for being the fucking weasel that you are? Like, I mean, Bazooki, come on. Like, you're here puffing your chest out, you know, talking about all of these safety measures, all these filters, yada, yada, yada. You act like they're so fucking good, but then when you're questioned about that, you don't want to bring any evidence or any viable answers to the table? Like, if that right there doesn't scream dishonest and suspicious, I don't know what else will. So, suffice it to say, Roblox yet again finds a way to make themselves look even worse. And you know what? It comes as absolutely no shock anymore, but it doesn't take away from the amount of added disgust that I have when it comes to topics like these. With all of the lawsuits and the negative press that has been revolving around Roblox over this past 2025, it makes me wonder how much worse things are going to get. Anyways, guys, I think that is enough Roblox for one night. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Have yourself a damn good one, and I'll see you in the next one.